We're going to be multiplying and dividing fractions with variables in them. aka algebraic fractions. It's quite the simple lesson. When it comes to multiplying, let's use regular numbers. 14 over 21, no. 14 over 27 times 15 over 7. So if I look at this problem, what can I reduce? 14 and 7. I can divide this by 7, and I can divide that by 7, and what do you get? 2 over 1. What about here? I can divide this by 3 and this by 3. This becomes 5 over 9. Final answer is 10 over 9, or 1 and 1/9. So just a review of multiplying fractions. In this case, it's going to be the same exact thing. If I had a problem like this, let me guess. Let me think of a problem. 3a over 5 times 7ab over 3. I do the same thing. Is there anything on the top and bottom that I could reduce? Yes. Let's see, I have an a up here, but I don't have any a's down here. So there's nothing on the top and bottom. The 3 I can reduce by 3 up here. What's 3 divided by 3? 1. So this becomes an a over 5. This becomes a 7ab over 1.
Wait, why did it say a 9 over 5?
That's an a.
Oh.
Just learn your alphabets. All right, so what can I do now? Yes?
I have a question. Do we really need to put the 1 there?
You don't need to put the 1 there, but I find it helpful because if you don't have the 1, people tend to multiply this 5 times up here. They might multiply this times down here. So if you actually have these separated, you can say top times top, bottom times bottom. So this final answer here is 7AA. How do you write AA? No, not Alcoholics Anonymous.
What?
What's 5 times 1? So your final answer is 7a to the second power b times 5. Because I have no numbers to multiply, so I just write my 7. A times a is a to the second power. B, nothing else to multiply the b with, so it's just b. 5 times 1 is 5. There are a few ways you can do this, but it doesn't matter which way you choose, you'll get the same answer. Somebody explain to me, what can I do here? Yes?
Are you able to cut down exponents?
Ooh, you can cut down the exponents if you like. It's just like simplifying whole numbers, except it's a lot easier. You just subtract the exponents. If I look here, I have an a to the second power and an a to the third power. So if I were to rewrite this fraction, I just say, well, I'm getting rid of 2 of these. Or what's 3 minus 2? 1. And where does that a go? On the bottom. Wherever the bigger exponent, that's where your answer goes. I don't need to write the 1. Same thing with the b's. What's 3 minus 2? 1. The bigger number's on top, so the b goes on top. Do the same thing here. What's 4 minus? Yeah, because you subtract. 4 minus 2? Where does your answer go? On top. 5 minus 4? Where does the answer go? On top. And since there's nothing down here, I'll just put a 1.
Oh, okay.
Now you can simplify one more time because I have 2 a's up here and 1 a down there. So, what's 2 minus 1? 1. And where is that answer going to go? On top. So right there. And this becomes a 1. There's nothing to reduce with the b's, so I'll just rewrite all the b's as they are. So the answer is A, B. How many b's are you multiplying?
2.
2 of them, so it's ab to the second power. So we simplified everything. If you don't want to simplify, you're like, well, that's just too complicated for me. Well, let's do this another way. I'm just going to do it in this color right here. I have 2 A's here and 4 A's here. So how many A's do I have total? 6 A's. I have 3 B's here and 5 B's there. How many B's do I have total? B to the 8th. I have, let's go to the A's again. I have 3 A's here and 2 A's here. How many A's do I have?
5.
A to the 5th power. I have 4 B's here and 2 B's here. So how many B's?
6.
Now I can subtract. What's 6 minus 5?
1.
1. And the answer goes on top. What's 8 minus 6? 2. But because the bigger number's on top, boom. That's so much quicker. So when it comes to numbers, if you go back to the original problem with numbers, it's probably easier to reduce because you don't have big numbers to multiply. But when it comes to letters, you don't have to worry about numbers. All you're doing is adding or subtracting exponents. So I would say maybe just combine them up on top, combine them on the bottom, then subtract. It'll go a lot quicker as opposed to 2a over 3. I'll write it the way it's kind of written in the book. 4a over 9. That's kind of, my a does look like a 9. 4a over 9. Now this just looks confusing, so just rewrite it like a division problem. You could write it like this. 2a over 3 divided by 4a over 9. Still looks like that. So when it comes to dividing fractions, because what you're really doing is you're dividing this divided by this, and this divided by this. But a nice way to write it, just so you don't get confused, just kind of flip it over. So that way it's on the bottom. Because now it's saying this divided by this, because one's on top, one's on bottom. But that means I have to multiply the fractions. And then this divided by this. So the rule is, or the poem is, there's no reason to ask why. Flip the second number and multiply. But I gave you the reason why. Now back to this. We can reduce numbers if we want. I'm just going to multiply out because I just don't feel like reducing. This becomes 18a over 12a. Ooh, what can I do with those a's?
Cancel.
Cross them out. And what can I reduce to 18 and 12 with? 3 and 2, which is 6. So your final answer is 18 divided by 6 is 3, 12 divided by 6 is 2, 3.5, or 1 and 1/2. So what should I do with this problem, folks? All right, keep the first one. Second one, flip. And then all right. Now I can just combine all my tops, combine all my bottoms. 3 A's and 3 A's is how many A's?
6 A's.
7 B's and 4 B's is how many B's?
11 B's.
2 A's and 2 A's is 4 A's. 8 B's and 7 B's is 15 B's. Now I can subtract. What's 6 minus 4?
2.
So it's a to the second power. What's 15 minus 11? So it's b to the 4th power on the bottom. Hey YouTube land, I hope you enjoyed this video. Because if you did, there's one right here that you might like too. If you want to see my last video, check that one over there. But don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notifications for the next video. Subscribe.
YouTube.